next video on my channel, Goalball Terminance, portrayed by Ernst Kreusel. Today we have the last video of Goalball Paralympic Games Women's Division. We talk about how I think that the games will run. Let us start right now.
Group A have Russia, China, Israel, Canada, Australia. And in Group B, we have Turkey, USA, Brazil, Japan, and Egypt. We start with Russia against China. I think the final score will be a 4-3 win for Russia. Israel versus Canada is the next one. And I think Israel will win with 9-4. Russia versus Australia. That will be a 12-2 victory for Russia. China against Israel. That will be a close game because both teams play really well. But I think in the end it will be a win for China, 5-4 against Israel. Then we have Canada versus Australia. I think Canada will win 10-6 against Australia. Israel versus Russia. That will be a 3-2 win for Russia. For explanation why I think that they have many less goals in this game. I think both teams has a very strong defense and they played in the past very often against each other, and there are many games which were very close. Because of that, I think it will be a low-scoring game. China against Canada. I think China will win by 11-4. Australia versus Israel, an 11-2 win for Israel. Russia versus Canada, 8-2 for Russia. And China versus Australia will be 9-3 for China. Now we look on the placements we have, if everything will happen what I think. When we will have on first place Russia with 12 points, 4 wins, 0 draw, and 0 lose. And goals 27 for Russia and 9 against Russia. Second place China, 9 points, 3 wins, 0 draws, 1 lose, with 28 goals for them and 15 goals against. On place 3, Israel, 6 points, 2 wins, no draw, and 2 losses. 26 goals for and 14 goals against. Place 4, Canada, 3 points, 1 win, no draw, 3 losses, 20 goals for, 34 goals against. And 5th place Australia, 0 point, no win, no draw, 4 losses, 13 goals for and 42 against. That means that Australia don't reach the quarterfinals. And now we talk about the other group, Group B. We start with the first game, USA against Japan. That will be a 4-1 win for the USA. Then we have Turkey against Egypt. That will be a 10-0. Turkey is the best team in the world. And Egypt is a team I don't know and which don't play in the Paralympics in the past. And yeah, so I mean 10-0 for Turkey. Brazil versus Egypt, also up 10-0 for Brazil. When we have Turkey versus Japan, I mean Turkey win 5-0. Then the USA versus Brazil, that's always high defense game where every goal matters. And I mean this time that will be a 1-0 win for the USA. I know I'm risking a lot with this prediction, but I know both teams, and as far as I said, they have really strong defenses. I mean, the US will score this one goal. I also think that the US can play a game against a big opponent like Brazil without any goal against them. I think that's possible for the US, even if they play against Brazil. Japan versus Egypt, I mean a 7-0 win for Japan. USA against Turkey. I know in the simple past, Turkey won 2 times with the mercy rule. I don't think they can repeat it this time. I mean, it will be a 4-1 win for Turkey against the US. Brazil versus Japan. That will be a draw, 2-2, because in Rio they also played against each other in the prelim. And then Japan won 2-1 against Brazil, but it also stood 1-1 for a very long time. And in the end of the game, Japan got a penalty shot against Brazil, where they scored the second goal and won the game. But this time I think it will be a draw between those both teams. At next we have Egypt versus USA. Then I also think it will be a 10-0 win for the USA. And at the end, Turkey versus Brazil. I mean, that will be a 4-3 win for Turkey, because in both teams there are strong offense players. On Turkish side, Sevda Atunolok. On Brazil's side, Ana Carolina Duarte, for example. So I mean, it's a 4-3 win for Turkey. Now we have the placements, if anyone happens what I mean. Number 1 is Turkey, 12 points, 4 wins, no lost and no draw, with 23 goals for and 4 goals against. Second place, the USA, 9 points, 3 wins, no draw and 1 lost, with 16 goals for and 5 goals against. Number 3, we have Brazil, 4 points, 1 win, 1 draw, 2 losts, with 15 goals for and 7 goals against. On 4th place, Japan, 4 points, 1 win, 1 draw, and also 2 losts, with 10 goals for and 11 goals against. And 5th place, Egypt, no point, no win, no draw, 4 losts, with 0 goals for and 37 goals against. That means that Egypt will miss the quarterfinals. And now we have the quarterfinals. In the quarterfinals, the first at Group A will play fourth of Group B, the second of Group A against third of Group B, third of Group A against second of Group B, and fourth of Group A against first of Group B. Which means that in the first quarterfinal we will have Russia versus Japan. And I mean, in this game, Russia will win 7-2. The second quarterfinal game, China versus Brazil. That will be a fantastic game, I think. With a 2-2 in the regular time. That means we will see overtime. And I don't think that we also have a decision in the overtime. So we will see extra throws between China and Brazil. And I mean, in the extra throws, Brazil will win against China. That's because in 2016 in Rio, they played in the semifinal against each other. And it was also a 3-3 after regular time. And then the decision came in the overtime when China scored the golden goal. But I mean, this time we see extra throws between Brazil and China in the quarterfinal, and Brazil will win. The third quarterfinal game, Israel versus USA. I mean, that will be a 6-3 win for the USA. And the last one, Canada versus Turkey. I mean, that will be a clear win for the Turkish team with 11-3. Now we are at the semi-final games. The both semi-final games will be Russia versus Brazil at first. I mean, that will be a win for Russia, 5-3. And at the second semi-final, we have USA versus Turkey. I mean, in the semi-final, it will be closer than in the prelim round. But nevertheless, Turkey will also win, in my opinion. And I mean, the final score will be a 2-1 for Turkey. When we have a bronze medal game between Brazil and USA, the same like Rio 2016. And I mean, it will be also a low-scoring game, but in this time not as low as in the prelim. I would mean final score will be a 3-1 for the USA, which means that the USA will win bronze medal. And the final game will be Russia versus Turkey, like many times in the past. And I think this time the winner will be Turkey, with a 3-2 win in the end. Which means that bronze medal will win USA, silver medal goes to Russia, and the gold medal to Turkey. That's my predictions for the women's tournament of the Paralympic Games in Goalball in 2021.
Yeah, that's my prediction for the Paralympic Games. Please tell me if you think otherwise when you're allowed to write that into the comments. And yeah, or you can contact me if you want on my Facebook account, Ernst Kreusel. You can contact me on Messenger. My name is Ernst Kreusel and that's also my name on Facebook. Also on Instagram, I have a private channel, and this channel, Goalball Terminance Portrait by Ernst Kreusel. If you want to talk to me about that, you're allowed. Don't hesitate with doing that. You can tell me how you think, and I'm interested in what your expectations are, especially of the players who will play at the Paralympic Games. So yeah, then we are at the end of this video and we are done with the teams at the women's division. Next we talk about the teams of the men's division at the Paralympic Games. And after that, as definitely final before the games started, we have interviews with the teams who will start, with a player of each team which will start. I can't promise that I can talk with every team. With every team I will do. So yeah, that will be definitely final. And yeah, but next week I will talk about the first division of the German Goalball League, because I can't miss this tournament. Although if we talk about the Paralympic Games, and the time flies away really fast, but that's no reason to forget other tournaments. So yeah, that will be next time. And don't wonder if I will return to the German language, because I think that's a national tournament. If I'll conduct the interviews with the players of the team, I can do that in English if you want. But if I talk with the players, yeah, because they are all German players, that's the easiest thing, to talk with him in German. I'll see how I do that in the next week. So thank you for joining me, and I hope we meet again in the next video. So take care and goodbye.